I have relapsing remitting MS, which is the most common version of MS. I remember it was 1999, and I was born in 1969, so
30.
30 years. They went through a bunch of different tests. They did a bunch of blood tests. They did something called a spinal tap to see if there were any abnormal fluids in my spine to rule out that I had um, any other kinds of disease. And then I had a series of MRIs. They were looking for what are called plaques in the brain, and what those plaques are just formations of dead cells, and or dead myelin cells, or that's the cover, the insulation of the of nerves. And so, yeah, that was they did that. First drug that I took to treat MS was this drug called Betaseron, which they don't make anymore, and it's um, after that, I tried a drug called Avonex, and then the next drug I tried was a drug called Rebif, and those all of those drugs are called antiferons, and I would change drugs because the effectiveness of the drug would go away, and would become very weak, and or wouldn't work anymore. So I would go into these relapses, and I would get weaker, or I'd lose. Actually, I would get weaker for most of the most of the relapses, and then I tried some oral versions of the drug of of the interferons. And then I tried Copaxone, which is not an interferon. It's a different type of treatment for MS, or it deals with another part of the immune system. And then I did that for a number of years, and then I stopped, and because it wasn't working anymore. And then I started taking Tysabri. And Tysabri had some controversy behind it because uh, people were dying from taking it, and so they pulled the drug off the market because they had not properly diagnosed or figured out when patients could take it. But it turned out that I was okay to take Tysabri for now, and that's what I've been on for the last 3 years. I'm going on my fourth year. So it does. One of the things that because I have MS, I actually have a hard time walking, especially long distances. And so I have a handicap parking. In fact, the reason I'm telling you the story is because one Christmas we went shopping at Bellevue Mall, and there was no parking that was available except for the handicap parking. And I pulled into the handicap parking, and you said, "You see, Dad, it has its advantages." Thanks. I still have handicap parking. I have a cane.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. I have all kinds. I have a walker, and it's a really cool walker. One day, maybe we could do a.
Camera.
I have a really cool walker. I could show you. We could film me in this really cool walker. Show
Wheelchair.
a wheelchair and a scooter. So I'm all equipped for all my ambulatory needs. And that's all I have to say about that.